100 Years of James Joyce's Ulysses celebrates one of the 20th century's most daring works of art. And it sets that work against the life and career of its author, visionary writer James Joyce.
An attempt, in a way, to dramatize the book itself, the writing of it, who the author was, the censoring of it, and its final triumph.
It takes a chronological look at Joyce's life, from his family and his early work, his education, through his time in exile, his most famous works, chamber music, Dubliners, Portrait of the Artist's Young Man, and of course Ulysses. And it does this through an extraordinary collection of objects: printed books and ephemera, manuscripts, paintings, drawings, and photographs of Joyce and his family.
The exhibition is aimed at two groups of people. First, someone coming in who knows absolutely nothing about James Joyce or about Ulysses. And this is an effort to guide those people towards this masterpiece. And also, it's for scholars. It's for people who love the book and won't believe being able to see the first page in his handwriting, the last page in his handwriting, emendations and changes in his handwriting.
Ulysses is set on a single day, the 16th of June, 1904, in Dublin, Ireland. And it traces the movements of two main characters, a young poet named Stephen Dedalus and a middle-aged Jewish ad canvasser named Leopold Bloom. Ulysses is really famous as a boldly experimental novel in terms of its style. It was one of the earliest works to present the so-called stream of consciousness technique, where we see the inner thoughts of characters unfolding on the page.
This is a letter written from Nora Barnacle, James Joyce's companion, to him in 1904. This letter, watch it, has no punctuation. The last episode of Ulysses, Penelope, is a woman speaking without punctuation on the page. In other words, it's absolute stream of consciousness. Watch how something as small as this, these two small pages, make their way in Joyce's imagination into this massive final episode of Ulysses. I mean, it's not directly taken from it, but the idea of somebody working in print without punctuation, here it is. His mind is always darting and moving, and we see that mind at work in a way. It's a glittering presence, his mind. The book is structured, it's deliberate, it's planned. He worked out a blueprint for it, and we can see that in various things in this exhibition. But that's only partly true, because the opposite is also true. Even until the very last minute, he was working, adding tiny little things. It was almost like scaffolding, and the rest was glitter, was how the imagination works. This is what came back from the printers in Dijon, and Joyce wrote all over them. He made emendations, he made changes, he corrected things. But just look at this big one here, A. And it means he wants to take in, and what's A? And A is here. And in his spidery handwriting, he wrote out an extra thing he wanted added. This is really late in the day. He found new ways of adding spice, adding texture. I think Joyce's artistry is heroic. The sense of energy, the sense of an extraordinary psychic mind at work, I suppose at its most glorious. The more you know about the book, the better the book becomes.
We wanted to capture the way that other writers and artists responded to Ulysses. So we have illustrated versions of the book. For instance, the drawings of Henri Matisse. Vladimir Nabokov drew this incredible diagram of the way that the characters move around Dublin. We have writers like Ralph Ellison, who sees in Joyce's experience in Dublin a parallel with his own experience as a Black writer. That visual, artistic response to the book has always been there and is a big part of the end of the exhibition.
The Morgan Library and Museum is the only venue for this exhibition. It's my hope that this exhibition will just encourage you, if you haven't read Ulysses, to try it because it's marvelous. And if you think you know it well, to come and see the stages of its creation.
This is how you honor great work, by actually attempting to create a room where all the excitement of that work is contained in various ways, and that anyone wandering in could begin to share that, or who already knows it could come to appreciate it even more deeply.